Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. Hope you are well. I'm your English teacher from IUS school and I'm conducting class 9. So follow my instructions carefully. You should have your secondary stage English book 1 for class 9 and hold a pencil. You have to be attentive during the class, and if you have any query relevant to the topic, then at the end of the class, you will be allowed to ask me the question in the chat box. During the class, I'll share a screen with you and you have to take a screenshot. Then after the class, you have to complete all the work. So today's topic of unit number 4 is Pakistan and National Pride, that is present in your book on page number 75. And on 4.4, there is a writing that is present in your book on page number 94. And the topic is paraphrasing a poem and application. So the topic of the poem is a child's invocation. As we know from the title that the poem is about the child's prayer. This is about the pious and the virtual wishes of the child. In the poem, the child prays to Almighty Allah to fulfill his wishes so that he could serve the nation and help the needy. The poem, A Child's Invocation, has been written by a famous Muslim philosopher and the poet Muhammad Allama Iqbal. The poem has been translated from Urdu version to English, and the opening line in the Urdu version is "Lab pe aati hai dua banke tamanna meri." Allama Iqbal's poetry have been widely read and admired, and his poetry is considered to be among the greatest of the modern era. And you know, charm, uniqueness, and the universality of Iqbal's poetry had really spread across the world. He wrote the poetry in Urdu and Persian, but is thought to be the greatest Urdu poet of the 20th century. Now is the time to read and understand the poem, A Child's Indication, that is present in your book on page number 95. My longing comes to my lips as supplication of mine. Longing means a strong feeling of need or desire for someone or something, and supplication means to make petition with earnestness and submission. O God, may like the candle be the life of mine. May the world's darkness disappear through the life of mine. May every place light up with the sparkling light of mine. Sparkling means shining brightly with the flashes of light. May my homeland through me attain elegance. Attain means to get something with effort, and elegance means refined grace, or we can say dignified gracefulness. As the garden through flowers attain elegance, may my life like that moth be, O Lord. Moth means an insect, like the butterfly. May I love the lamp of knowledge, O Lord. May supportive of the poor my life's way be. Supportive means to give help or assistance. May longing the old, the suffering my way be. Suffering means feeling of pain. O God, protect me from the evil ways. Show me the path leading to the good ways. Now, come on the first couplet, I'm talking about the line number 1 and 2. As the title shows that the child is the speaker of the poem and he is addressing to the Almighty Allah. These two lines describe by the poet that the child has a gentle hope that rises to his lips, that he prays, "Oh Allah, my life should be like a candle." The child actually wishes to be a lighted candle. Now, come on the line number 3 and 4, that is, may the world's darkness disappear through the life of mine. May every place light up with the sparkling light of mine. It means in these two lines, child wants the world's darkness vanish away through his light because he wants to be a lighted candle. Actually, the child wants to fill every corner with the light of the day, or we can say that he brighten up with the shining light. Hopefully you got the clear understanding about the line number 3 and 4. Now come on line number 5 and 6. May my homeland through me attain elegance, as the garden through flowers attain elegance. These lines show the beauty of a child's mind that he wants to see his land just like a garden with the beautiful flowers. As dear students, you already know that a garden is a planned space, usually outdoors, set aside for the display, cultivation, or the enjoyment of a plants and other form of nature as an ideal setting for social human life. So let's see the next lines. I mean line number 7 and 8. May my life like that moth be, O Lord. May I love the lamp of knowledge, O Lord. These lines shows a common theory of moth. Very first, I really want to clear the moth. Moth is a kind of an insect that is very similar to the butterfly because their spatial navigation method is based on maintaining a fixed angle. And you know, my dear students, a common theory of the life of moth is that moths are attracted to the light and therefore they fly so high. So accordingly, the wings of the moth would constantly turn inwards to keep itself at a constant angle to the light, ending up in a spiraling path which would make it eventually collide with the lamp. So in the same way as the moth goes around the shining light, the child also prays that, let me love the candle of knowledge best. Because the child loves and get the knowledge, he wishes to be like a moth so that he could get enough knowledge to share with others. Now come on, line number 9 and 10. May supportive of the poor my life's way be. May loving the old the suffering my way be. In these lines, the child's mission of love and serve the poor are described because the child wants to support the needy people. Actually, he wants to serve the weak people. I mean, those people who are not strong enough to do something, and those who are in pain really deserve the sympathy. Now, let's see the last lines. I mean, line number 11 and 12. Oh God, protect me from the evil ways. Show me the path leading to the good ways. The last two lines shows that the child prays that, O Allah, please save me from all snares of evil, and he grant him the will that he walk on the way, virtuous ways. Hopefully, dear students, you understood all the poem with the difficult words and meaning and the explanation as well. Now, the actual topic of this unit is paraphrasing a poem. So, very first, it is really important to know that what is paraphrasing. So, dear students, paraphrasing is actually presenting the ideas and the information in your own words and acknowledging where they come from by using your own words. You actually demonstrate your understanding and your ability to convey this information. And you know that paraphrasing a poem is usually done as a way to better understand the poem. Often a poem may use difficult words that are confusing really. And keep it in your mind, dear students, that a good method to gain the better understanding is by paraphrasing a poem. Because the exact intention of what the poet means can't be completely conveyed through the poem in many cases. Now it's a time to understand that how can you paraphrase a poem. I have written 4 keywords in this slide like reword, rearrange, realize, and recheck. So, my dear students, listen attentively the tips for paraphrasing a poem because I know that this is really a new experience for you. So, very first, you have to read the poem again and again before begin to rewrite it because proper understanding can make you able to paraphrase the poem in an ideal manner. Then you have to pick out the main idea, but make sure about the understanding of the meaning of the word. And it is very, very important to find the synonyms of that particular words that are already used in the poem. After finding out the synonyms, and I think, dear students, you already know about the synonym that the words that have the same meaning, then we call the synonyms. Then you can restructure the sentence. And one thing that you have to keep it in your mind that you cannot use quotation mark because paraphrasing is to explain someone else's ideas using in your own words. So you have to be familiar with the topic in order to do the paraphrase. And it is very important that if you need to paraphrase a poem, you should completely know that what the poet is talking about. Actually, poem have hidden meanings about something, and really that is completely different from what you thought. But when you paraphrase a poem, make sure that you have to capture the main idea. So, to be very honest, my dear students, it seemed difficult, but by paraphrasing, you can enhance your writing skill. That can help you to write any piece of paper, and you can also enhance your vocabulary by paraphrasing. That really will help you to express yourself more clearly and accurate. Now it's a time to look at your screen about the paraphrasing that I have done. That is, the poem is present in your book on page number 95. This poem is in the form of a child's prayer to God. The child prays that his life may serve as a candlelight for others. He wishes the darkness and ignorance of the world to vanish. He wishes to fill every corner of the world with the light of knowledge and goodness. He also wants to love his hand and make it beautiful in the same way as blossom makes the garden beautiful. He wants God to develop in him such love of knowledge which is as intense as the love of moth for the shining light. In other words, he is prepared to sacrifice his life in the pursuit of knowledge. The mission of his life would be to love and serve the poor, the weak, and those who are in pain. He wants his heart to be full of sympathy for the poor and the suffering. He prays to God to save him from all snares of evil. He prays for the strong determination so that he can always keep to the ways of virtue. Please take a screenshot so it will be easier for you. So this is only the paraphrasing. Now come on the exercises of the poem. Exercise 1 that is present in your book on page number 94. Underline the following words in the poem. And the words are longing, supplication, sparkling, attain, elegance, moth, supportive, and suffering. So let's see where are the words. So the first word, my longing, is in the first line. Second word is in again the first line, supplication. The third word is in the fourth line, sparkling. The next word is in the fifth line, attain. Elegance word is also in the fifth line. Moth is in the seventh line. Supportive is in the ninth line. Suffering is on the line number 10. Now, let's see exercise 2 that is also present in your book on page number 94. Next, paraphrase each couplet 2 lines in a poem of the following famous poem of Allama Iqbal. The first couplet has been paraphrased for you. Like, look at the sentence number 1. Oh Allah, I pray that my life should be like a candle. In the same way, you have to complete all the paraphrased lines. Let's see sentence number 2. Through my light should be the world's darkness disappear and bright with sparkle. Look at sentence number 3. Through me, my homeland just like a garden. Sentence number 4. I pray that just like moth for shining light and develop love of knowledge in me. Look at sentence number 5. I pray that I help poor and sufferings. Sentence number 6. Oh God, save me and keep the ways of virtue. So please take a screenshot. Hopefully you got the clear understanding about the paraphrasing of poem. Now come on the next topic that is also in your writing passage on 4.4, how to write an application. So, dear students, as you already know, that application is a type of formal letter. A formal letter is written according to the certain pattern and formalities. It is strictly key professional in nature and directly addressed to the issues concerned. Any type of application is considered in the category of formal letter. So please keep it in your mind that application is the formal way of document by which the applicant requests for leave, character certificate, and asking for permission. Now, we discuss the format of an application. Here you are seeing that there are the six heading, inside address, salutation, body of the letter, complimentary clause, and the signature. So, for writing an application, we have to use professional format. I mean, in the left-hand corner, very first, we create the heading in which we address directly to the headmistress or the class teacher or to whom we want to talk about. Then we write class, then a school name. After that, in the fourth line, we have to write the city name. So this is the heading and the inside address that you have to write at the left-hand corner. Again, I want to repeat, in the left-hand corner, very first we have to create the heading in which we address directly to the headmistress or the class teacher. Then we have to write the class, I mean in your class name, class 9. Then you have to write the school name. You can also write the supposing school name, ABC school, or you can write your PABS school, as you wish. After that, in the fourth line, you have to write the city name. City name is Karachi, so you have to write at the fourth line. So this is the heading and then site address that you have to write at the left hand corner. Again, on the left hand corner, we write salutation. In the salutation, we write respected ma'am or the respected class teacher to whom you are addressing. It depend on that. If we address to the woman, so we have to write respected ma'am or the respected teacher. And if you want to address to the male, then we have to write respected sir. After writing the salutation, we write the body of the letter. Do you know, dear students, that the body of the letter is the most important part of a letter? It contains the message or the information to be communicated, and it is placed single line below the salutation. The main purpose of body of the letter is to convey a message, and the main purpose of the message is to produce suitable response for the reader. This is done mainly through the body of the letter. Therefore, it is very important to organize and arrange the materials very carefully. The qualities or essentials of writing an application must be applied in this part. The opening paragraph should be attractive enough to attract the reader's attention. In the first paragraph, previous reference, if you have any, must be mentioned, and in the second paragraph, main message should be stated. In the last paragraph, it should be stated clearly what action you expect the reader to take. It must be natural. It must be logical, must be final and complete. It must be gentle but firm. Therefore, the entire body of the letter should reflect a positive approach and should have a positive attitude, and it must contain definite appeal. Now come on the complimentary clause. It is a polite way of ending an application, and it is placed single line below the body of the letter. And at the left hand side, we have to write the complimentary clause. There are, the variety of styles, as you already know, for expressing a complimentary clause, such as yours faithfully, yours truly, yours sincerely, yours obediently, and so on. Whatever you want to write, it's up to you. After writing the complimentary clause in the next line, write your name. Hopefully you got a clear understanding about the format of an application. Again, I want to repeat all the format. Very first, we have to write the heading. For example, if you want to address to the directly headmistress, then you will write the headmistress. Then you have to write your class name, then the city name, and inside the address, you have to write your city name. In the salutation, if you want to write the application to the headmistress, then you have to write respected ma'am. And if you are addressing to the male, then you have to write respected sir. In the salutation I'm talking about. In the body of the letters consist on the three paragraph, as I already told you a little while ago. And in the complimentary clause, there are the various expressions that you can write it over there. For example, yours obediently, yours faithfully, whatever. And after writing the complimentary clause, you have to write the comma, and then you at the end you have to write your name. All right, please take the screenshot. Please take the screenshot. Okay, hopefully you got the clear understanding about the parts of application letter. Now, come on the application that is present in your book on page number 96. This application is directly addressing to the class teacher. That's why we are writing here the class teacher, class 9, ABC school. That is not the name of your school, that is just supposing name of the school. Okay, ABC school. And then Karachi. Karachi is the inside address. In an inside address, you have to write your city name, which means in the headings, the class teacher, class 9, your class name, and your school name is including in your heading. And the Karachi, because this is your city name, that's why we are including here in the category of inside address. Dear teacher, because you are addressing to the teacher, that's why in the salutation you have to write dear teacher. After writing the dear teacher, you have to put comma. So below the single line below to the salutation, you have to start your application. This application is very short, but when you will write at your own, then you have to write in the according to the third para or according to the instruction, whatever I have given you. I shall not be able to attend school today because I am suffering from high fever. Kindly allow me a day's leave. I shall be obliged sincerely, or you can write yours sincerely, because yours sincerely is totally the official format. Yours sincerely, yours obediently, or yours truly. It's up to you, whatever you want to write. After that, you have to put comma, Sarah Khan. Sarah Khan, that is the signature, and write the name, write your name after the signature, Sarah Khan, and then at the end you have to write your class, student of class 9th A. Clear? Very first you have to write the heading, the class teacher, class 9th, ABC school, this is the heading, Karachi is the inside address, dear teacher is the salutation, and this is the application, that I shall not be able to attend school today because I am suffering from high fever. Kindly allow me a day's leave. That is the application, but this is very short when you will write at your own, so you have to write in the detail. Okay, I shall be obliged. You can write it over there, thankfully or whatever. Yours sincerely, Sarah Khan, student of class 9th A, and before the Sarah Khan, you have to put your signature over there. So please take a screenshot. So hopefully you have understood about the format of an application, about the writing of an application, the parts of an application. So in this way, you have to write your work. So this is your home task. You have to complete page number 94, okay, and copy down paraphrased poem. Paraphrased poem, as I showed you during the class, paraphrase poem that is present. The poem is present on the page number 95, and paraphrase poem, as you I think already took the screenshot, then just with the help of the screenshot you have to copy down the paraphrase poem. Okay, then the third task is write an application to the headmistress of your school requesting her to issue you a sports certificate. How will you write to sports certificate? Again, I want to make you clear. You have to write the application to the headmistress. The home task is you have to write the application to the headmistress. So very first you have to write the headmistress, then you will write class 9, then ABC school, and at the end in the fourth line you will write Karachi. Okay, now here the dear teacher has been written in your screen, but you have to write dear ma'am or respected madam, because you have to write the application to the headmistress. So you have to write respected ma'am, or you have to asking for the character certificate, so you have to write the application according to the given task. Okay, so hopefully you got the clear understanding about the home task. Complete the page number 94. The page number 94 is totally about the homework about the paraphrasing a poem. Exercise 1 and exercise 2 is including in your paraphrasing a poem, that is present in your page number 94. Copy down paraphrased poem. I already showed you this screen of paraphrased a poem. This has written by me, so you have to take this screenshot and then you can copy down with the help of the screen. Okay, again I'm going to show you the screen. That is your home task. Okay, that is the homework. Please take the screenshot, because that is your homework, that you have to write the paraphrased form. That is the paraphrased form, and the poem is present in your book on page number 95. So very first you have to make the title page. Very first you have to make the title page, then you have to write the poem, then you will write the paraphrasing a poem as I show you on the screen. Then you will write paraphrasing a poem, that is a title page. Paraphrasing a poem, paraphrasing a poem is your title page. Aage. That is not necessary to write in your copy. Paraphrasing a poem, after making the title page you have to write the paraphrasing a poem, and the poem is present on page number 95. After making the title page you have to write a complete poem, and then you will write the paraphrasing. Okay, and the exercise 1 you have to complete in your book, because in your book there is a sufficient provision, there is a sufficient space for completing your exercise. Please take the screenshot. Please take a screenshot. You have to complete the exercise 1 that is present in your book on page number 94 in your book. It's not necessary to complete this work or complete the exercise 1 in your copy. You have to complete this exercise in your book, because there is a sufficient place for writing it. Again, the exercise 2 that is also present in your page number 94. You have to complete in your book because there is a sufficient space. Please take the screenshot. Okay, again I'm going to repeat your home task. The home task, again I want to repeat, complete page number 94, that is on exercise 1 and 2 of the paraphrasing. Copy down paraphrase poem. The poem is present on page number 95 and you have to copy down the paraphrase poem as you already took the screenshot. Then the third task is write an application to the headmistress of your school requesting her to issue your sports certificate. So you have to write the application according to the given format. Clear? Hopefully you have learned a lot, and keep learning, complete your work in time, stay safe. I wish you best of luck for your next class. Allah Hafiz.